headlines of VTV News. Prime Minister inspects key transport projects in southern region. Brands help Vietnamese rice enter EU markets. And later on in our world news, OPEC commits to stabilizing global oil market.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to VTV News. On behalf of our VTV International, we wish you a happy Lunar New Year. And here's the top news of the hour. Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng paid tribute to the late kings and talented individuals who made significant contributions to the nation. He offered incense at Kính Thiên Palace in the Thăng Long Imperial Citadel in Hanoi on the fourth day of the Lunar New Year. The party leader affirmed his commitment to upholding Vietnamese traditional values and strengthening the national unity bloc to build a prosperous, equal, and civilized nation. He emphasized the need for continued efforts from individuals to pursue a peaceful and happy life for the people and the nation. The Thăng Long Imperial Citadel, which was included in the UNESCO list in August 2010, served as a center of power for over 1,000 years of Vietnamese history. It stands as unique evidence of Vietnamese civilization during the development of monarchies in Southeast Asia and East Asia. Continuing his inspection of key transport projects during the Tết holiday, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính inspected Ring Road 3 in Ho Chi Minh City, Long Thanh International Airport in Đồng Nai Province, and the Biên Hòa Vũng Tàu Expressway on Tuesday.
The 76-kilometer-long Ring Road 3 project, with an investment of $3 billion, traverses Ho Chi Minh City and the nearby provinces of Bình Dương, Long An, and Đồng Nai. Visiting the site, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính appreciated them working throughout the Tết holiday to step up construction. He asked relevant localities and units to keep making efforts to remove bottlenecks and accelerate the project.
Common construction materials such as sand and gravel. I suggest after this meeting, Deputy Prime Minister Chan Hong Har convened relevant ministries and branches to sit together and discuss, inviting relevant localities to work together and perhaps bring in sea sand. We have had a whole year of surveys, observe and pilot. Once it is finished, standards and regulations must be developed. If there is anything missing or needed, please give your opinion and decide at the meeting.
At the construction site of Long Thanh International Airport, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính praised the project's progress, in which the 4-kilometer-long, 75-meter-wide runway has been formed and the underground part of the station has been completed. He requires regular inspection and supervision to ensure progress, project quality and technicality.
We started in 2022, 2023. We must accelerate in 2024. In 2025 we must make a breakthrough, and in the first 6 months of 2026 we must complete, hand over, and put into use the project. If the situation is more favorable, we will shorten construction time even more. Therefore, the spirit is to overcome all difficulties, work in shifts around the clock. If there are problems, you can only push through, not back off.
The same day, the Prime Minister made a trip to Biên Hòa Vũng Tàu Expressway project. This road, once completed, will cut travel time from Ho Chi Minh City to Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu by half. Talking to relevant ministries, sectors and localities, the Prime Minister assigned tasks to the relevant agencies to study additional intersections with highways, strive to complete and open to traffic in 2025. At the meeting, the Prime Minister also assigned tasks to ministries and branches on investing in expanding the Ho Chi Minh City Long Thành Dầu Giấy Expressway.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính attended the International Ship Welcoming Ceremony and the first working session of the Year of the Dragon at Tân Cảng Cái Mép International Port in Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu Province. Speaking at the ceremony, the Prime Minister emphasized that Vietnam is promoting the development of the marine economy, including shipping. This is an extremely heavy tax that the party and state have assigned to the transport sector, including Tân Cảng Port. Vietnam is also promoting the implementation of 3 strategic breakthroughs, including transportation infrastructure. Therefore, the Prime Minister requested that the cooperation participate in developing seaports connecting inland waterway ports with major international ports of Vietnam, supporting localities to develop better logistics, reducing logistics costs, and improving the competitiveness of Vietnamese goods, especially agricultural products. He also asked Tân Cảng Port to promote digital transformation and the application of science and technology innovation to build a smart port. The Prime Minister hopes that in 2024, Tân Cảng Port will grow stronger than last year, contributing to building and developing the country's economy quickly and sustainably. The railway sector aims to boost the growth of freight transport, particularly international intermodal routes, in the coming year. This mode of transportation is beneficial for moving large quantities of goods, offering reliable transit times and cost-effective solutions. The Vietnam Transport Development and Strategy Institute predicts that the demand for international intermodal rail transportation could reach 8 to 9 million tons per year by 2030.
Cao Sa Station in Hai Duong Province is conveniently located near industrial parks, making it easily accessible for transportation. Recently, the Ministry of Transport has approved plans to enhance the capacity of the railway industry for international intermodal activities. In the future, 3 stations will be able to handle customs procedures for exports. These stations are Kep Station in Bac Giang Province, Song Then Station in Ben Duong Province, and Cao Sa Station in Hai Duong Province. This improvement not only saves time and costs for businesses but also attracts foreign companies.
Transporting goods by international railway between Vietnam and China is chosen by many businesses. The train schedule is flexible, and it is not affected by weather or congestion at border gates, which shortens transportation time.
Since 2017, container trains have been used to transport goods to China and Europe. However, these trains only operated when there was a supply of goods. In the past 2 years, intermodal trains have been running daily, but the total volume has only reached 1 million tons per year. The main obstacle is the lack of infrastructure capacity. As a result, the railway industry is considering a plan to enhance international intermodal transport capacity by renovating its stations.
If the railway system is completely connected, as per Decision 1769 approved by the Prime Minister, such as by connecting railways with industrial parks and seaports, the intermodal capacity will increase. Consequently, logistics costs will certainly decrease significantly.
Building new railway routes requires time to prepare the necessary financial resources. Once the existing infrastructure is upgraded in accordance with the approved plan, international freight transport by rail can increase to 4 to 5 million tons per year, which is 4 to 5 times higher than the current capacity.
The rice industry reached an export record of 8 million tons last year, earning $4.8 billion. These results were thanks to the efforts of Vietnamese farmers and businesses focusing on quality instead of quantity. The story of Vietnamese rice entering the European market under its own brand is evidence of a crucial transformation, creating momentum for further breakthroughs this year.
In 2019, Vietnam's ST25 rice won the world's best rice award. That was when Thank and his colleagues came up with the idea of exporting rice under the Vietnamese brand.
Thai rice has been in Europe for 30 years. They were the first in the market, so their rice quality is the benchmark for fragrant Asian rice. The difficulty we face is not the price but having to convince consumers. They know about Vietnamese rice and will purchase a second or third time. That's when we know the product can successfully enter the market.
I have known about Vietnamese rice for the past 2 or 3 years. Before that, we had no concept because Vietnamese rice imports were often in other countries' brands.
130 Vietnamese rice resellers in 12 major European markets have been established. After much effort, 60 to 70% of overseas Asians buy Vietnamese ST rice, the basis for its expanding foothold in Europe. This company sets a goal that in the next 3 years, rice exports into European markets will reach 300 to 500 containers annually.
The initial step is for Vietnamese abroad to buy Vietnamese rice. Next, we want to improve our rice brand and expand to local consumers.
For the past 3 years, these fields have been dedicated to rice production for the European market. Before being harvested, rice samples are tested to meet dozens of criteria. Rice must have a moisture content of between 25 to 27%. The rice will lose its aroma and become brittle if it is too dry. The fact that businesses work with farmers from sowing to harvest has created stable quality products.
The rice we sold in the European market 3 to 4 years ago was worth over $1,000 per ton.
Vietnam's rapid and sustainable development of rice farming and ensuring the quality of rice seeds and product branding are expected to help sustain orders and export markets in Europe.
Coming up next, early year sea voyages bring joy to Phie fishing fleet. And Vietnam's traditional date presented at Museum of Ethnology. Vietnam considers talent as a national resource. As such, building a team of talented people is investing in sustainable development and directly improving the nation's intellectual level and strength. This is also an objective of the Vietnamese Communist Party pays special attention to and persistently implements to realize its development goals.
After leaving a job at Google, Dr. Tuan brought his successful startup model from Silicon Valley to Vietnam. Genetica, a modern laboratory specializing in applying artificial intelligence to decode genes to diagnose and detect hereditary cancer, is now well established in his homeland.
I found this to be a wise decision to return to Vietnam. I received help from the government, nurturing Genetica's first years of development.
Construction requires talent, a strong belief of the late President Ho Chi Minh throughout his lifetime. After gaining independence, he invited Vietnamese scientists abroad to return home to contribute to the cause. Later, attracting and using talented people was always the party's priority to develop the country.
The party and state's interests in overseas Vietnamese have been the best motivation for scientists to bring all their abilities to contribute to Vietnamese scientific research.
A national strategy for attracting talented people has been issued. With this strategy, many policies will be developed so that 100% of talent stays and works at state agencies. In addition, a National Innovation Center has also been inaugurated. This will be the destination for talented people, especially in science and technology.
In the context of international integration with Industry 4.0, science and technology are developing rapidly. Human factors, such as scientists and talented people, are the mainstay that will help us create a breakthrough and develop the country. The most important thing in promoting talent is not necessarily to gather them but how to make the most of their contributions. We also have to consider satisfactory incentives for overseas intellectuals. There is no other way to elevate a nation than to pay attention to that nation's resources.
The people are always at the center of Vietnam's development strategies. This is the goal and the driving force of Vietnam's reform and development in the years ahead.
These are the joyous smiles of a fishing crew returning from an extended voyage at sea. After their trip over the date holiday, Phie province fishing fleet docked on the 4th day of the Lunar New Year, laden with a bountiful catch.
From 7 a.m., dozens of people awaited the fishing boats to transfer the seafood ashore. Viet's fishing vessel was at sea for 40 days on this trip, hauling in a catch of over 2 tons. Each crew member earned $409, allowing them to return home for a belated Tet celebration with their families.
This marks a promising beginning to the new year. As we move forward, we aspire to achieve more productive fishing trips and benefit from higher fish prices.
Hundreds of Phie province offshore fishing boats remained at sea during Tet. A successful catch at the year's start is a good omen for a year filled with abundant seafood landings. Therefore, the mood in fishing ports is especially lively in the early days of the new year.
We brought extra cakes, meat, and beer to celebrate Tet at sea. We are eager to return home to celebrate Tet. With good weather, we anticipated a plentiful catch. I plan to purchase as much seafood as the fishermen can supply. The quality of the fish is high, and the quantities are greater than usual.
The early year sea voyages brought joy to Phie fishermen. They boosted their resolve to remain at sea, protecting national sovereignty and promoting local economic development.
2023 was a highly prosperous year for farmers in the Mekong Delta. The price of rice soared to unprecedented levels, and some fruit prices also reached new heights. Concurrently, drought and saltwater intrusion started to advance deeply into the estuaries. As a result, during this year's date, alongside celebrating the spring season, the farmers took proactive measures to safeguard their fruit orchards, including frequent visits throughout the holiday period.
This man's family owns 5,000 square meters of durian trees. He secured water sources for this year's dry season nearly 2 months before Tet to promote healthy plant growth and maintain productivity and quality.
I have stored enough water to irrigate the durian trees during Tet and the entire durian season, eliminating concerns about drought or salinity.
Durian is the primary crop across the Mekong Delta. Given these significant earnings, despite celebrating Tet, this man diligently makes daily visits to check on his garden and the water supply. Although river salinity levels are around 1 per thousand, affecting even deep canals, proactive measures taken by many have ensured that most can enjoy Tet without worry.
Farmers have adopted various strategies to combat saltwater intrusion. These include utilizing ditches and laying tarps for water storage to enhance water conservation efficiency.
By proactively securing water for irrigation and maintaining care, durian orchards are better equipped to withstand drought and saltwater intrusion, setting the stage for another prosperous harvest for farmers.
Chinese-flagged cruise ship Zhaoshang Yidun docked at the Ha Long International Cruise Port in the northeastern province of Quảng Ninh on February the 13th, the 4th day of the Lunar New Year, bringing 600 visitors to the famous tourist destination in the north of Vietnam. This is the first international cruise ship docking at the port in the Year of the Dragon. The tourists visited Ha Long Bay, experienced local culture and cuisine, and visited the Quảng Ninh Museum and some famous attractions in Ha Long City. The number of tourists coming to Ha Long by sea is forecast to recover, with nearly 60 cruise ships registered to dock at Ha Long International Cruise Port. What were dates traditions in ancient times? What are common activities during date? These questions will be answered when you visit the Museum of Ethnology in Hanoi. On the fourth day of the Lunar New Year, the Museum of Ethnology began a series of activities about traditional date. Many folk artists from all over the country attended the event and are ready to help people learn about date traditions.
This is the first time Hanoi's Ai Lao singing and dancing troupe has participated in this activity at the Museum of Ethnology. 14 ancient dances and songs have been recreated. History singing, which recreates the scene of Saint Zong defeating the enemy, attracted many viewers.
We'd like to tell the young generation about our nation's traditions. The youth need to know about the great efforts of their predecessors who protected the country.
Through performances like this, I feel proud of the traditions of my country, and I love the country more.
Many interesting ethnic group cultures are also on display here. For example, viewers can play folk games and enjoy Mueang cuisine by visiting the Mueang cultural space.
We want to create a useful learning experience for the public, especially for children, to explore the cultural heritage of their ancestors in various forms. They will be better able to understand and appreciate traditions.
This year's art activities and folk games at the Museum of Ethnology are richer than previous years. Technology is utilized especially to appeal to young target audience.
Coming up next in our world news, OPEC commits to stabilizing global oil market. And thousands of drones in dragon formation light up sky in China. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, remains dedicated to upholding the stability of the global oil market amidst ongoing geopolitical tensions. OPEC General Secretary Haitham Al-Ghais confirmed on February the 12th. According to the OPEC chief, the organization will intensify efforts and cooperation among member states to support market stability. In its most recent monthly report, OPEC projected that the growth in global oil demand for 2024 would steady at 2.2 million barrels per day. In the first quarter, global oil demand is forecast to grow by 2 million barrels per day compared to the same period last year, with total world oil demand anticipated to reach 104 million barrels per day this year. Technology is relentlessly progressing and altering the global scene. In the following report, let's check out some key technological trends that specialists believe may significantly influence the course of development in 2024.
Artificial intelligence, AI, is expected to remain a pivotal technology trend in 2024. Assisting us in tasks ranging from searching for information and managing our schedules to organizing thoughts and bringing them to fruition.
The Internet of Behavior, an emerging technology, utilizes data from sensors, wearables, and various sources. It offers a deeper understanding of human preferences and decision-making processes.
Augmented reality, AR, allows for immediate interaction with the environment, creating new opportunities in education, entertainment, and business.
In 2024, quantum mathematics, which uses quantum mechanics for rapid complex calculations, is anticipated to enable computers to operate up to 1 billion times faster than today's speediest processors.
Renowned chocolate maker Hershey has recently alerted that chocolate prices might rise around Valentine's Day this year due to cocoa prices hitting an all-time high, thereby squeezing the profit margins of chocolate manufacturers. In the past week, global cocoa prices have jumped by 19.23%, reaching a new peak of $5,909 per ton, up to 40% higher than prices at the start of the year. This increase is linked to extreme weather conditions in key cocoa-producing nations in West Africa, such as Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana, adversely affecting crop yields. The sky over Nanning in South China was lit with 2,000 drones forming a giant dragon to ring the Year of the Dragon. The 2024 Lunar New Year fell on Saturday, ushering in the Year of the Dragon.
In Chengdu, the capital of southwest China's Sichuan province, a spectacular show incorporating thousands of drones mesmerized tens of thousands of spectators by forming intricate patterns including the dragon, phoenix, and panda, offering a fascinating and impressive experience for all. Dragon and phoenix are believed to be the spiritual and cultural symbols of China, which represent auspiciousness and harmony. The dragon characterizes strength and passion, while the phoenix represents kindness and tenderness.
This is the biggest dragon that I've ever seen, formed with so many drones.
It's really fantastic.
Folk culture performances, including molten iron fireworks and dragon dances, were also staged to let people immerse themselves in the festive atmosphere featuring traditional Chinese culture. This stunning celebration conveyed New Year wishes to the public for family reunions and prosperity.
And before we say goodbye, let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that's it for this edition of VTV News. Thank you very much for watching. To rewatch our program, you can download VTVgo from App Store or Google Play, or tune in our YouTube channel at youtube.com/VTV4Go. See you again at 3 p.m. local time. Goodbye for now.